Hi everyone, welcome to Science Lab. The signs are happening because Lord Jesus is coming. Every day we are looking at some of the signs that are happening around us.
Today we are going to look at some of the end time signs happening in Europe.
On June the 10th, 2020, Defense News reported that German defense companies will receive $11 billion in stimulus payments to make up any shortfall caused by the coronavirus. This wild boost for Germany's armed forces ushers in a new tone in a country viewed to be averse to war.
German Defense Minister Karen Bayer told Defense News, "Now that we want to revive the economy, it makes no sense to cut the defense budget as a source of public spending."
There is also Airbus, which makes both civilian and military air and spacecrafts. Germany holds the second largest share in the company after France. Airbus is currently designing the replacements for the Eurofighter, the Future Combat Air System. It also produces and services satellites, transport aircraft, fighter jets, and attack helicopters in addition to a variety of sensors. MBDA, which builds missiles for the Eurofighter, is another trans-European company with a division headquartered in Germany. Large German companies such as Rheinmetall and Krauss-Maffei-Wegmann build tanks and other armed vehicles. It is not hard to see how the coronavirus relief package could help Germany accelerate and achieve its defense goal on land, sea, and air. Germany has been unwilling to spend its NATO-mandated 2% of GDP on defense. Yet when it comes to European or national defense, it appears more eager to get involved. The fact that a defense earmark is included in the package as an explicit instrument for helping industry set something of new tone in a country where defense sector dealing are traditionally treated as a necessary evil in the business of geopolitics. Is Germany's attitude towards its military shifting? During the Cold War, Germany's military capabilities has reached a low point, being dependent on the US to secure its own borders. Germany is stronger today, albeit not strong enough to stand up to Russia alone. However, this will soon change. History shows that this powerful nation has the ability to rapidly rearm with world-alerting effects. It can easily happen again. In the first volume of the World War II, The Gathering Storm, Winston Churchill recorded a speech he gave to the House of Commons on the threat of a rapidly rearming German military, especially its air force. He stated, "It is well known that those very gifted people with their science and with their factories are capable of developing with great rapidity the most powerful air force of all purposes, offensive and defensive, within a short amount of time." From the unification of Germany in 1871 through the Franco-Prussian War and the two World Wars, that trend has been repeated. Germany has been a fearsome force and will be so again. Its economic strength, industrial development, and vulnerable geographical position make it inevitable. This may sound shocking, but the Bible prophecy says it will happen. The book of Nahum contains a prophecy for modern-day Germany, a nation descended from the ancient Assyrians. Secular and biblical history agreed that this nation was a mighty military power for most of its existence. Its military power is now returning. What if a strong leader were to harness it? After the World War II, many key leaders and industrialists of the Nazi Party went underground, but the party's violent ambitions never truly died. They will be back. The Bible warns of exactly this situation. Your commanders are like swarming locusts, and your generals like great grasshoppers, which camp in the heights of cold day. When the sun rises, they flee away, and the place where they are is not known. After the World War II, the Nazis just went underground and disappeared like grasshoppers in wintertime. Suddenly, they were gone. But just as suddenly, they have burst back on the world scene. That's exactly the way God foretold it was going to happen in this end time. Germany looked weak, especially after the World War II. However, today it is preparing once again for competition with other great powers. Building highly advanced combat systems such as the MKS-180 and the Future Combat Air System is a crucial part of achieving this goal. Germany will soon become the head of a 10-nation European power that will plunge the world into war one final time.
We have seen about the end time signs happening in Europe, but there is more. Don't go anywhere. We will meet you after a short break. Welcome back to Science Lab. The signs are happening because Lord Jesus is coming. We have seen about the end time signs happening in Europe. Let's continue. On July the 1st, 2020, Germany began its 6-month presidency of the European Council for the first time in 13 years. This begins an unprecedented time, as now 2 of the highest senior positions in the European Union are currently led by Germans.
Chancellor Angela Merkel has an opportunity to team up with the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen to shape the European Union for years to come.
Rarely, if ever, has the EU faced a more pivotal 6 months than those immediately ahead. Never before has the fate of EU depended so much on a single nation. Never before has it been so clear that Germany is at the heart and core of the European project. Chancellor Merkel said, "We know that Europe is certainly in the most difficult situations in its history. This is reflected in the virus that still exists, and we see it in the economic data that reach us and that applies to all the member states of the European Union." On 27th of June 2020, The Economist noted, Germany is doomed to lead Europe. The EU's biggest member is in charge, whether Germans like it or not. Along with Germany's rising dominance in the EU is the use of its language. English may be the European Union's lingua franca, but listen carefully in the corridors of power and you will find the language of Goethe and Schiller is on the rise. Politico wrote on June 26th in, "We all will be speaking German soon." At the end of World War II, the US, Great Britain, and France were determined to never let Germany rise again to dominate Europe. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization formed in part to prevent Germany's military dominance. Britain joined the EU in part to prevent German political dominance. France hoped to lead Europe in partnership with a submissive Germany. Today it is clear that all efforts to contain Germany have failed. Revelation 17:10 symbolized the 5 revivals of the Roman Empire that has occurred up to that time under the guidance of the Roman Catholic Church. These 5 revivals of the Roman Empire were headed by Justinian, enthroned as emperor in AD 554. Charlemagne crowned in AD 800, Otto the Great in AD 962. Charles V in 1530, and Napoleon Bonaparte was crowned himself emperor in 1804.
But the prophecy in Revelation chapter 17:10 referred to one revival of the Roman Empire that would be in existence at the very time the mysterious vision of the book of Revelation would first come to be understood and oneness.
All these show that what is mentioned in the Bible that are going to take place in the end time or taking place in our lifetime. We are living in the last days. Lord Jesus Christ is coming again very soon. Thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to tune in to Science Lab next time.
But before ending the show, we would like to ask you a question. Who is the fourth largest weapons exporter in the world? Option A, France. Option B, Germany. And option C, Russia.
Send us your correct answers to our email address sciencelab@angeltv.org. If you have missed any of the episodes, don't worry, you can watch it again and again in our Science Lab YouTube page. But don't forget to like, share and comment on the video.
Ask your friends and relatives to watch the Science Lab so that they will know that we are living in the last days. Remember, signs are happening because Lord Jesus is coming.
Maranatha.